Inniswell Ministries International presents Midweek Message. Hi, family. Well, family, last week we talked about our emotions, how emotions can come in like a wave. And if you're ready for that wave, they'll go back out. But if you're not ready for the wave, it can take you under. And we're not going under this holiday season. Last week we talked about feeling our feelings, like knowing that our feelings are valid and allowing ourselves to feel them, to try to identify the feeling, uh, and also identify any triggers, like what happened before we had that feeling. We talked about a holiday feelings journal just for the holidays. You don't have to do it forever, just for now. It's a good place to like write down your triggers. And um, we talked about maybe like game planning for when we're going to have our feelings, right? So like me going to the store, and what happens if I see a mother and an adult daughter and senior citizen mom together, right? Like that was enough to reduce me to tears. Not so much anymore, but I'm not going to say it doesn't bother me a little bit. So what do I do? And so I have to game plan what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm not out in the stores like that. I like run in the store, run out. Um, but I have to be prepared and ready if I see it. And I'm just going to allow myself to have my feelings. So if I need to cry, I'm just going to cry. Cry where I am. Get up and leave the situation. Um, so this week we're talking about like how are we going to deal with everything. So holidays can get overwhelming, just like the sheer all the stuff that needs to be done and the guilt and the just all the other emotions. And if you have kids, like the focus on them, but still like you still feel guilty because you're not all the way there. Um, so let's make our plan. Like, what is our holiday gonna look like? Let's plan it all out. And we're gonna have a plan A and a plan B. I told y'all, right? I had a plan A for my holiday, and COVID came and kicked the legs out of my plan A. But I still did the things I wanted to do, but I was so exhausted. I just slept. Like I made all my favorite things, but I couldn't even enjoy them. I just slept and watched stupid, sappy Christmas movies. That's what I did the whole time I was sick. So I had fun doing that actually. So that's going to be part of my plan A for Christmas. Um, so let's make a plan, and let's make a plan if we have family over and we feel it. What's our plan? Right? You're feeling something, you don't want to feel it in front of everybody. What's your plan? Do you excuse yourself and go to the bathroom, excuse yourself and just go out back? Like, what do you do? So start thinking about what your plan is going to be. And if there's a bunch of people around, what is your plan about dealing with your emotion? We're not sucking it up anymore. We're feeling them. So what's your plan to feel them? And what's your plan for the holiday so that you don't get overwhelmed? During this season, we are running around doing for everybody else. Let's do some self care. So, what's self care for you? What does your self care look like? My self care is fixing my favorite things. My self care is like washing my hair. My self care is painting my toes. My self care is reading a book. Let's just, even if it's a chapter, because I don't get to read so much because I've been doing the Bible in a year so long. I finished and now I'm starting back over again. So I don't get to read other books too much. So I'm going to read something. That's self care to me. That's joyful to me. Um, I am going to video chat with my grandson. And actually, he's not much of a chatter anymore. So I'm just going to watch him play. And that the thought of it makes me happy. Um, some other things to do is connect with the community. So every community has activities like the tree lighting and the lights tour. There's like all kinds of little Christmas things that different communities have. So plug into your community and enjoy what they have. There's a church down the street from me. They have a live nativity. There's so many things to do. And yeah, we need to do them. There's pop up shops all over Augusta. There's so many things to do. I also volunteer. So you could volunteer your time. If you find nothing else to do, there's always somewhere that needs your time. So there's always somewhere you can volunteer. All right. Give to somebody else. Support others. Now, I try to do this. It's a little harder down here because I don't know what people are into. Like, I don't know what people are doing. So, and my family's pretty, well, I can support my dad by visiting. My dad's still in rehab. So, yeah, I can support him by visiting, maybe sneaking him some, sugar free cookies. My brother hollered at me today for giving dad sugar free cookies. I'm gonna still sneak him some because that's my dad. All right. Now, on the sugar thing, sugar is, we did a whole video on sugar. Keep the sugar as low as you can. Don't overindulge in the sugar. Now, along with the sugar is the drugs and alcohol. This is not the time or the season to be letting drugs and alcohol take control, right? You're like barely holding on to everything emotionally. The last thing you need is to add in drugs or alcohol. And listen, family, um, don't be afraid if you get overwhelmed to seek professional help. They have telemedicine now. So even though it's in holidays and everything's closed, they still have telemedicine and you could speak to someone. And yeah, so we're going to do a little deeper dive into self care next week, like ideas about what we can do. I remember last year, a friend of our family, um, Casey, made wreaths. And she made these beautiful wreaths and gave them to her family for Christmas. And like, what a beautiful thing. Like, she channeled all that hurt and pain into and made something beautiful and made somebody's whole day, right? So, like, what can we do to channel that? What can we do to uh, to channel those feelings out? To yeah, to get those feelings out, but in a good way. So we're going to talk about, yeah, those kind of things, and that's kind of self care too. But we're going to talk about what we can do. Okay. All right. Well, join us again next time when It Is Well Ministries International presents.